Alright, welcome race fans to another ORC MPC or Mission Pilot Challenge, round number 7 at Laguna Seca. We're just waiting for the game to load us in. Here we go, we're on the parade lap or the warm-up lap here. Moose IG, of course, is on our pole for this. I think a 131, low 131, as somebody flies by them. Trance, interesting. So Trance also up there, so... yeah, now he's pulled off. Interesting, okay. So I think, so let's see, it's Master Big Chief in second place in the BMW. We've got Trance in third in the Audi. 4Cam T-Bird in fourth place with the Chevy Camaro. Strife, I'll have to look, I forget what Strife. Strife is racing the, that's right, the Mercedes AMG. And seventh, Hooligan Heart in eighth in the Mercedes AMG. Bondacious ninth in the Porsche Cayman. We've got Corporal Cole in 10th place in the other Camaro. Unknown Hitman in the McLaren, I believe. That's the green McLaren. Mr. Grimp in the Aston Martin. And then we've got the TCR field, which is Yogurt in the Hyundai Velociter. Severius in the Alfa Romeo. Chuckles, Honda? Chuckles is in the Honda, yes. Okay. We got Wildman CB, I think he's in the Audi. Yep, Audi, and then we've got GTR Mergenator behind him in the other Hyundai Velociter. Trigger Story next in the VW. ORC Yankees fan in the Honda. And that rounds out our TCR field. So let's go back up to the start of the GS race here as they come around. It's just out of the corkscrew and they come around the last couple corners here. So let's go. I actually want to do time behind leader this whole race, and let's go to game cameras like usual. Here we're on board with our pole sitter, and there's the field behind coming around last turn. Here we go. Let's see how he gets this start underway. Nice and controlled. And here we go, right under the bridge right there is our start-finish line. So we're going in 3, 2, 1. They're going. So Master Big Chief on the outside there. I think that car just has a little more speed, or maybe Moose got a little bit slower start on that. But now they're coming in evenly into the Andretti hairpin for the first time. I don't have to worry about cold tires. They're warmed up enough. A little bump behind. Ooh. Pushes them into Master Big Chief. That's okay. We got a nice tight pack. Medieval Knight in third place. Trance in fourth. And looks like a Flight in 5th place, 4Cam in 6th, Hooligan Heart in 7th. So let's watch this battle here. Let's, Moose, ooh, big L slide on that one. That allows Medieval Knight in his Porsche, Gulf-delivered Porsche to pull up his side. And Moose has got to give way to that position, so that slide cost him a lot on that. So they were commenting before the race, actually Moose and Trance are both talking about the Audi. And actually how difficult it is kind of around this track. It's not really an Audi track. You know, it doesn't perform super well at this track. I would expect the Porsche Cayman there to actually really be live at this track. Master Big Chief in the BMW as well, a little more speed oriented in that. But it definitely matters on the driver, obviously, behind these cars too. And all these drivers in the NPC Challenge are really top tier drivers. You've seen throughout the series, you've seen Moose, Trance, Master Big Chief, Medieval Knight, all these guys are top of the field. You see Moose look down the inside. Medieval sees it, gives him a lot of room, but with Moose cutting off that apex there a little bit, or cutting off the exits, he couldn't get a good run, couldn't get on the power. Let's see if that opened him up. Trance behind his teammate, coming up and over that hill there. Just takes a normal line, no reason to be defensive right now. Same thing as Medieval Knight, no defensive lines yet. Master Big Chiefs is going away just a tiny bit. You can see 1.1 seconds between first and second. Ooh, Trance runs really wide off that exit. Thankfully didn't slow him down enough. So Flight had a little bit of a look, but couldn't capitalize off that yet. Going to come into the bridge here, coming into turn 5. See what else we got. So let's look at some battles back here in the back of the field, just so we get a good... Actually, we can look from 6th up, I think, right now. So we've got 4Cam T-Bird in the Camaro. Looking ahead of him, Flight in front of him, and then Trance, and then who was that in third? If I recall. Oh, Moose and Maydeal and everything. So running deep into that carousel, or into the corkscrew turn. That's a 10-story drop, fellows. I'm sure you guys hear talk about all the time. In the game, it looks pretty spectacular, but it doesn't do any justice. I'll tell you right now. Driving this track in real life, and walking it actually. When we did the track walk the day before at about dusk on Friday, before we drove on Saturday and Sunday, just walking up and down that hill, going after turn 6, you know, the left-hand kink there, pretty much. Going up that hill, man, it was ridiculous. Like, you don't realize how steep this track is to get to that corkscrew area, and then how much it actually undulates and how much it throws you down. So, you know, they kind of call it the roller coaster, you know, for a reason, because it really feels like a roller coaster when you go, you lose your stomach. So anyway, I encourage anybody can get on the track at Laguna Seca. Just go with a track day, either with NASA Pro Racing or SCCA, or that's probably the two best ones I'd recommend, the most reputable. And then there's multiple other ones which kind of skimp a little bit on safety, which is why I don't recommend them. But you can get on track fairly cheap and fairly inexpensive. Track day at Laguna Seca runs you about in between 500 to about 750, depending on when you buy, how far out you buy. And then running with, like I said, a good organization, somebody you trust, somebody you know is going to take care of you safety-wise, have EMT on staff, you know, fire personnel, you know, all that good stuff. But I highly recommend it. A bucket list track for most people. And if anything, just go out there and just rent a car, rent a spec Miata, rent a spec BMW E30. Two great platforms to drive at this track, and gives you lots of grip and lots of forgiveness. And even if you go half speed, even if you're just tooling on this track, it's amazing. The weather is pretty great. A lot of mist in the morning usually, because it's right on the coast of Monterey. But great atmosphere, great track to go to. So I highly recommend that, guys. Look at, like I said, NASAProRacing.com or SCCA.com. Two great organizations to go play on the track. Sorry, let's go back to our... We've got a pretty good battle pack right here. Let's go on board with Mr. Grimm in the Aston Martin. And you can see he's got Bodacious behind. So Bodacious was actually up towards the front, I thought. I may have to look at that again, but we got Strife, Hooligan Hearts, and Unknown Hitman leading this train of 5 cars here towards the back here. So they got kind of a split between the GS traffic and the first 6 now. Right up the inside there for Mr. Grimp on Strife. It allows the Bodacious to actually get a nice run on them too. They're going to go side by side. Coming up here to turn 6, let's see if they can go side by side with this. Bodacious looks like they decided to back out a little bit early, but they gave Strife a really good run on Grimp in the Wonder Bread livery, Pepsi livery. Oh, locks it up a little bit, kind of cuts the nose off, and that allows Strife to go through. Grimp has to take to the grass. Bodacious should have a run on the inside, yep. Okay, let's see how they play this. Nice and tight. Both giving each other just enough room to operate within that corner. Ooh, they're trying to undercut there on Bodacious. Almost worked. Like I said, I expect that Cayman to be a little more nimble than the Aston Martin and to be able to fly around the corners. Unknown Hitman here is catching up just a tiny bit there too. And we've got the TCR field right on board with these guys. So let me go back to the TCR. Let's see what's going on there. I've got Yogurt in the lead here. So actually I'm going to jump on board with 3rd place, Trigger Story. So you got Trigger Story. And there you see the gap there with ORC Severus and the Alfa Romeo in front. And then Yogurt in the front there. So let's look at the gaps here. Not seeing the time gaps. 23, oh, it's only doing, damn it. That's right, we don't have the classes split up by buckets. So it's just saying to the leader GS, which is kind of unfortunate. I'd like to see, you know, with the TCR fields within each other. But that's okay. That's the ticker across the top, by the way. I'm looking at time gaps from the leader only. So we've got ORC Severus there, and it looks like Trigger Story caught up a little bit on this lap. It looks like we've got a fairly decent gap. He doesn't have to worry about anything behind him, so he's just going to drive forward now. So Trigger, I believe in you, buddy. You can do it. You can catch that crazy ORC staff member up there. That Alfa Romeo was really good. I actually drove all the cars, all the TCR cars, just the other day on these, albeit in a base tune. But all of them seem pretty good. It seemed like the Honda for me and the Alfa Romeo were the top two that I expected based on what I drove. Could be a little bit of driving style for myself, and could be obviously a little bit of the track, as I'm fairly fast here too. So Chuckles actually caught up a lot on that. So I think if that was Trigger Story on the turn after the carousel, was at turn 8 or 9, I believe. The left-hand downhill is kind of difficult. Has a lot of has a lot of camber to the corner. So you do have to just let off the gas a little bit and kind of let the car rotate in, and then have it come wide into the next corner, which is another highly cambered corner before the last two, or before the last corner onto the start finish. But let's go over really quick. Let's see. All right, everybody's starting to get spread out a little bit into the race. Let's see who this. Okay, Cole's actually back here 19th in GS class, so that's interesting. Unfortunately, obviously, I wasn't on board with him, so I didn't get to see. All right, I like this livery, Cole. Good job. So Cole used to be a corporal in the Army, I believe, and so he likes to do a lot of the obviously military style liveries, which is awesome. And then he also does a Haterade livery, which of course we love. So Cole may have taken a pit stop. Let's see. 97, yeah. So okay, looks like Cole took a. Looks like Cole took a pit stop. Now I'm not sure if that is because of damage. It doesn't look like the car is damaged, so I'm guessing he did an early pit stop. So he loses obviously a lot of track position, but he's kind of off in his own little world right now, so he can kind of just run whatever pace he wants to run. He doesn't have to worry about anybody else. So that can be an advantage later. We can check and see if that undercut works for him to see. And actually, let me look at my spreadsheet here and see where Cole started. So Cole did start in looks like 11th place in GS. So he didn't lose anything. He's still 11th place. So as the other pit stops play out, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that and see exactly if that helps him or hurts him. So he is. Oh, ticker just went by. I wanted to see how many seconds he's behind. And I should have actually checked to see what the time delays in the pits for this. That would have been helpful to see how much time he loses in the pits. Ooh, big old swirly sideways drift session from Cole. Easy doing this. So he's 1 minute 5 seconds. So that kind of indicates to me that maybe he did have a problem and maybe had enough damage where it slowed him down a lot. Because he was literally, let's see, 4 seconds. Yeah, about 4 seconds off of the qualifying time, first place in Moose IG. So not enough after 9. Well, let's see. I mean, that's 32 seconds, and let's say it's 30 seconds probably for a pit stop. So I guess he's might be right around that range as he really messes up the corkscrew, but does a good job of staying on track. Actually, it was a valiant effort to not cut the track completely. Cole, good job. Let's go check out some of these other battles here. Let's look at 1 and 2. I see a good battle between Moose and Master Big Chief. Looks like they dropped Medieval Knight, I assume, is still in 3rd. Yeah, Medieval Knight's in 3rd, but they've got quite a gap now from 3rd place. So let's see, what is that gap? I'll wait for the ticker to come around again to confirm that. So again, that gap is to the leader only. Moose gets a really good run out of that. Let's see. Okay, Big Chief kind of goes defensive at first, then goes in the middle of the road. So he didn't squeeze in quite as hard as I thought he might. So let's see. So Medieval Knight is 5.7 seconds off of this lead trio, it looks like, somewhere around there. So that's a pretty substantial gap after lap 10. Let's see, 39 laps. So in our pre-race meeting, he had it set to 27. That's interesting. Alright, so we have a lot more laps on tap apparently than I realized, or maybe he didn't have the right setting when he set the lobby, but let's keep on board with this really quick. We'll go to, whenever I go off of these battles, I'll go to the cinematic cameras so we can, if you guys have a different replay, we'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this map so you guys can kind of view this battle right here. So we're going to go over a little bit of information right now. So we're going to go through the qualifying times really quickly while you guys are watching this 1-2 battle. So we had Moose IG with a 131.041. We had Master Big Chief with a 131.408. Medieval Knight with a 132.034. Trance with a 132.203. Flight had a 132.216. 4Cam T-Bird had a 133.325. Hooligan Heart with 133.476. Strife with a 133.976. Bondacious with 134.311. Mr. Grimp with 134.531. Cold Tires with 135.325. So 4 seconds separating all 11 drivers, which is really cool. Looks like Moose is trying to throw it on the inside and enjoy your hairpin. Oh, he's going to maintain tight, but give him enough room. Very nice driving from these two guys right here. Good job, Master Big Chief and Moose. Nice, good battle we're seeing here. Let's go over the TCR field. Hang on, let me switch my sheet really quick, and we'll head on board to the leader in TCR, so you guys can kind of reference for that one. Okay. Actually, let's go to second place so we can have, ORC Surveyor, so we can have a little bit of room. Looks like up in front behind. So it looks like he's pulled a little bit of a gap. You look at, oh, Yogurt's actually, hang on, never mind. We need to go back to Yogurt because he's got a pretty, he's taken off pretty cleanly in that Hyundai Velociter. Alright, so in the TCR field, actually, Yogurt was actually faster than the slowest GS class car. So Yogurt did a 134.664. ORC Severius did a 135.719. Oh, sorry, actually for Yogurt, by the way, he is DRR Yogurt. I want to make sure that we keep his gamer tag correct. So Chuckles did a 135.989. Wildman CB did a 136.252. GTR Merginator did a 136.619. Trigger Story 136.934. ORC Yankees Fan 137.338. And that rounds out our TCR field times for qualifying. Let's go check really quick. Actually, let's pull the map so we can see the battles really quickly offhand and know where we want to go. So I'm going to go kind of in the middle. Looks like we got, is that Unknown Hitman coming to the pits right now? Nope, it's not. Oh, somebody else. We missed it. That was Trance coming out of the pits there with fresh tires and some more fuel. Doesn't really matter in Forza, but he's got it. Let's see. So pit stop's starting to play out a little bit. So remember, I'm curious to see what happens with Cole if he jumps up the order a little bit with that pit stop. We got somebody else in the pits too. Let's go over there and take a check. Okay, we got Mr. Grimp in the pits and the Aston Martin just coming out right now. Currently in 18th overall place. Some of the TCRs, actually the whole TCR field passed him while he was in the pits. So again, not sure if that was damage oriented or if that was just his strategy he's going to do. But he's out of the pits into the dirty hairpin here. Just takes a couple corners for the tires to warm up and get up to temperature. Other than that, it's actually really quick in Forza. Tire heat doesn't play too much unless you really light them up and you kind of get this red kind of ring. The tires turn a little red, you kind of see them. So let's look at some of the battles here. Some of the tighter battles. We got a good battle between 15, 16, 17. So let's go on board with who we on board with. This is ORC Yankees Fan of TCR. Wildman CB right in front of him. And then we got GTR Merginator right there. So we've got the Velociter, we've got the Audi, and we've got the Honda all in a tight battle here. It's like Wildman caught up a little bit on the corkscrew and actually allowed Yankees fans actually rubbing his bumper quite severely, trying to rub off. Hey, apparently Yankees fan doesn't like the logo on the back that Wildman CB has on the back of his bumper, and he's trying to just get rid of it for him. Let's see it come around the last, some nice glowing brake discs. I wasn't saying anything bad, don't worry. From ORC Yankees fan. Let's see this drag line, this drag from the Velociter. Looks like it maintains a pretty good gap. And looks like Yankees fan catch up a little bit under full power there to the Audi. Let's go ahead and get rid of this map while we're looking at this battle here. It's a nice battle between, and I'll have to think of what, let's see, that's 11. So what is Yogurt in? Yogurt's in 11th. Coming around turn 5 here. Nice camber corner as well too, but really easy to get right. Just braking right after the bridge. Coming into turn 6, arguably a difficult corner because there's a big sausage curve on the inside and it has a dip. I can attest to you that dip is actually really big in real life too, and I think Forza did a good job of showing that there was a dip in there, because you see really the car kind of bottom out a little bit. Alright, these guys are still really tight after the second lap where we've been watching them here. Reginator's actually got a little bit of breathing room, doesn't have to go defensive. Wildman's in a unique position right now where he's got to face forward but also worry about ORC Yankees fan behind him. So that's always a hard position to be in, where to position your car, either defensively or not defensively. Thankfully, ORC Yankees fan is not a really aggressive driver. As he pulls alongside right here, he just kind of waits for a mistake and bides his time and is really patient. So as long as Wildman doesn't make too many errors under brakes or on a turn-in and misses apexes, Yankees fans really not going to try anything crazy. Watch I say that and all of a sudden he'll dive bomb the hell out of him. Alright, so this battle is really good, but I do want to try to find something else too. Which will flip the map again. Let's see, okay. So we got a lot of drivers spread out now. It looks like Master Big Chief and Moose, I imagine. Oh no, it's Corporal Cole. He just okay. So Master Big Chief in first place, just past Cole. So that would indicate to me that we did have a pit stop from Moose because he is in between, or Corporal Cole's in between those guys. So Corporal Cole goes a lap down in the GS field and currently in 19th. And you can see the gap there as we're looking on board from Moose to Cole and to the leader, Master Big Chief, in the BMW. So the Audi, like we're talking about, is not really suited for this course. So Moose and Trance, I think, doing a great job of driving. We've got two people in the pits too. Let's go and check and see who that is. Is that Bondacious in the... Yep, Bondacious just coming out of the pits right now. Let's see if he threads out in front of somebody. It looks like he does have somebody coming up on the outside. He should stay to the inside here as Chuckles. Oh, and TCR comes around. So Bondacious shouldn't have an issue warding off Chuckles here in the Honda. So looks like Moose is in the pits right now. Interesting. You just see his logo, the wrench logo coming up under his name. So interesting. I wonder if he did 2 pit stops right in a row to get rid of him. Not sure. That's interesting turn of events, kind of. So let's go back. Let's go to Medieval, who finds himself in second place in that other Porsche Cayman, the Gulf livery Porsche Cayman. And you see he's caught up to Corporal Cole here. I expect Cole to just kind of take a wide line, yep, and just let him on the inside. Ooh, a little bit of door banging. I think Cole just got a little loose under power for that Camaro, which is easy to do. Rear-wheel drive, obviously, but has a good amount of power to lay down. So now GTR Merginator in front of him in the TCR field in that Hyundai. So I'm guessing then, obviously, that his counterparts that he was racing with went into the pits as well. And we do have somebody else in the pits. Now let's see, that's Chuckles 1989. Just see the wrench up there on the top. And Trigger Story in too. So we got a couple pit callers now coming to the pits. So Medieval Knight here about to put our pass GTR Mergenator does the right thing and just stay to the side. Lets him through. Yep. Oh, a little bit of lockup from Medieval, but he can handle it. Perfect. Good job of cooperative passing there with GTR Mergenator and Medieval Knight. Both recognizing, you know, kind of where they are and track awareness, car awareness. Corporal Cole sliding around that second to last corner, third to last corner, coming down the hill. Who was that? Oh, Medieval Knight's in the pits. Okay, Medieval Knight's in the pits, coming in second place. So that's gonna move. Let's see. Master Big Chief in second place now. Did he come in the pits too? He did. Okay. So these pit cycles are now starting to play out here, or pit strategies. So Master Big Chief must have come in. There's 4Cam T-Bird there in second place now, taking over the lead. So let's see, Medieval Knight in third. So that's the gap between first, second, and third. So now you see Master Big Chief has got to catch up. It's just a pit sequence. There you go. Like dresses have sequences and blouses have sequences. Sequence. So that's just the pit sequence and cycle playing out and ebb and flow of cars jumping in, lead and stuff. So now we've got 4Cam T-Bird in first place. We've got Master Big Chief in second place. Moose IG in third place. Medieval Knight in fourth place. And if you're following along on the map, you can kind of see the gaps between them. Flight in fifth place. And then we've got Strife in sixth. We've got Unknown Hitman in seventh. We've got Bondacious in eighth. Hooligan Heart in ninth. And then we've got the TCR field of DR Yogurt, ORC Yankees fan now in second place. Oh, looks like they're all going to the pits. So now that's changing. Sorry, I was hoping to get through a whole sequence of that. So let's go on board with our not a third place because they're just going over board with our top two again. So now we've got our 4Cam T-Bird in the pits, so obviously that's going to there's a pit sequence again playing out. Master Big Chief now back in first place. 4Cam, let's actually go on. I'm going to go on board with 4Cam and see where he comes out relative to the other drivers. Sitting in his pit stalls, feels like an eternity. Now he's in fifth place. So from first to fifth as far as the sequence is concerned. But I think he was in fifth place normally. They kind of just jump those guys based on when he pit and when they pit. So 4Cam doing a good job in that Camaro. We've got Strife coming up, so there's the gap between fifth and sixth. And now let's see how our TCR field is playing out here. Yeah, DR Yogurt is still in first place. We've got ORC Severius in second place. Chuckles 1989 looks like in a close battle with Trigger Story. So we've got 1, 2, 3, fourth place for Trigger Story. And then we've got ORC Yankees fan in fifth, and then Wildman CB in sixth. And that should be the TCR field. So I want to go on board with Trigger Story here. Let's look at this gap between him and Chuckles. Honda versus the VW TCR. So let's see how this plays out here. Trigger Story's really been practicing a lot this last week, I saw. And has been talking about it, so he's been doing a really good job with VW, putting a lot of laps in, a lot of practice, and I think it's showing here. Chuckles as well, doing a little bit of obviously tuning and practice during the week. Let's take this off. All right, so let's see. So there's a 5.9 second gap between first and second in GS. It looks like. And like I said, I wish I could see the gap between TCR, but I guarantee this is like 6/10 or no, probably less, 3/10. A 3/10 gap probably between 12th and 13th here in TCR. Overall 12th and 13th, by the way, but higher up in the class. So what is this, 5th and 6th, I want to say, offhand. Let's look at the map again. 3rd and 4th, I'm sorry, 3rd and 4th. Yeah, so quite a big gap between Yogurt and Severius right now. I'm just curious how that developed. That was just pit sequencing. I don't think it was traffic. Actually, I'm going to head back here. We've got. First of all, I want to watch this pass between GS. Let's see, or So this is GTR Mergenator we're on board with now. I love this livery Mergenator, by the way. Great job with that. Master Big Chief coming through. I put a little bit of pressure on Mergenator and actually a little bit of side to side. That's kind of normal coming through the corkscrew right there. They're really tight. So Mergenator is actually chasing down the driver in front of him, which is Wildman CB and ORC Yankees fan. So we've got quite a good gap here that Mergenator's got to get a hold of. So let's see if he can do that. He's been getting progressively better. He hasn't raced the whole season with this, but he's been doing progressively better and faster with these cars, or with his car in this too. And he's got a channel as well. I think I mentioned it last week. Go over there, look up GTR Mergenator. He puts a lot of good content as well. So again, another shout out for Mergenator. We're also going to have this race posted on Twitch from ORC Black Ghost and ORC Cerverius. So you'll kind of see a unique view from Cerverius, from single person view, and then Black Ghost is actually streaming on Twitch right now, and he's actually doing the same thing I'm doing, which he's commenting the whole race and kind of switching through drivers and kind of looking at battles and all that stuff. So make sure you go look at those two Twitch channels as well, or Twitch streams. They should probably be uploaded to Twitch within the next hour or two after the race. So make sure to go out and check those out right away. But it gives you a couple perspectives, a couple good kind of things we're looking at as commenters and as racers. So ORC Severus is not going to comment a bunch when he's there, but you'll see a good first-hand account of what we're watching here. Who are we on board with now? Let's see. We are on board with Wildman CB in the Audi, trying to chase down ORC Yankees fan, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yep, right in front of him in the Honda. So a little bit longer wheelbase on this Audi TCR, this S3 I think it is. So a little bit different. I'd say the Honda is a little more suited for this track. But the Audi is all-wheel drive. Unfortunately, we could not do or find any car that was close in Audi that we could change to a front. Ooh, ORC Yankees fan makes a big mistake and allows Wildman CB to capitalize. Let's see if ORC Yankees fan can hang it on the inside and make it hard for him. He does hang it on the inside. A little bit of contact, but it does give him a lot of room on exit. And now we've got a really good battle between these guys and the leaders in GS coming through and Medieval Knight in second place there. That was just a big mistake from ORC Yankees fan. You can see he had to concede the place eventually. He's probably being really easy and making sure the GS guys can go through, and decided just to give that up. So he made a big mistake coming into Andretti hairpin, and it looks like he missed that first apex, and that made him go really wide into the sand, had slowed really down, and Wildman was able to capitalize and go up a position on that TCR battle there. Let's see, where else do we have? Alright, so Chuckles looks like is behind Trigger Story now, so we missed that pass, unfortunately. So Trigger Story going up in the VW, but it looks like it may have just happened. Chuckles pulls alongside him along the first straight there, or the front straight. Mr. Grimp in the Aston Martin might be hanging back just watching this battle develop before he might try a normal race line. Yep, he's going to go to the outside as these guys battle it through. Chuckles, ooh, off the dirt a little bit, Chuckles. Be careful with that, track limits. But looks like he didn't capitalize on it, so we're going to stay status quo. Trigger Story maintains that position. Really good battle from these guys. Chuckles really throwing it down the inside of Andretti hairpin. Like I said, just going a little bit narrow, but that's okay. Looks like Moose IG 130.9. It looks like I saw flash across the top for the fastest lap. That's a fast lap, guys. Just so you guys know, I mean the average you saw in the qualifying times was what, 130, 131, 132, and Moose putting down a 130.9. I saw. I'll confirm that next time it pops around. So let's see. Trigger Story now gained a pretty good amount, probably due to that traffic, and Chuckles there still maintaining a little bit of cut there from Chuckles in the Honda. Going about half a car length on the second part of the apex to the corkscrew. Just saw not Medieval Knight. I just saw Master Big Chief in the lead coming around that last corner, 2 behind him. So he's gonna catch up. Let's now go to a game camera so I can look back. Okay, Master Big Chief doing a great job in this BMW. He really likes the BMWs. He's raced a couple of times with us and has BMWs the last couple times. But he drives them really well. It seems to suit his driving style. You know, I think he likes a little bit of a looser car underneath him, so he likes the tail to be a little happy and come out. And as for remember last race, we saw the same thing from Moose and Trance in the Audi R8. I really liked the car that felt loose. I think they even said they had full downforce on that car, rear downforce. Correct me if I'm wrong, Moose or Trance. But you saw the amount of slip angle that they put into that car coming around VIR, which was actually pretty cool to see. Does lose them a little bit of time, but I think they were just trying to get into that apex and try to get on the power level sooner, which the Audi does tend to do a little bit better, being that mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. So we're going to stay on board really quick as he deals with Master Big Chief in the lead, deals with TCR traffic, comes into the corkscrew. Let's see how he deals with Chuckles. Let's see how Chuckles deals with him, and we got Trigger Story in front of him. So you see TCRs are holding their own in the corners pretty good. And this is the leader in GS coming up on Chuckles here, and he's not able to really, you know, put the hammer down and really like get past him quickly. So this should be the opportunity he needs right now. So let's see what the TCR drivers do. And Master Big Chief is expecting to go up the inside there, and now he's come up to Trigger Story. That was a good opportunity, actually a good place to pass him. Let's see what Trigger Story does. Yep, Trigger Story should just stay his line and allow that faster car to come through. Let's see if that allowed Chuckles. Yeah, it allowed Chuckles a little bit to catch up on him. And again, that's the ebb and flow of multi-class racing. That's one of the things we love. And it's interesting that, you know, based on where you catch somebody, Master Big Chief actually came up the inside, which didn't allow Trigger Story to take the full apex on the first part of Andretti Hairpin. And it cost him just a couple tenths. But that's usually all you need, you know, when you have a good battle in close cars and close drivers. All right, so he's got more traffic here coming up. So let's see who he's got. Okay, there's the gap between first and second. You can see in the mini map as Master Big Chief just went through turn 6. Now Medieval's going through it right now in the Cayman. And Moose in third right there got a great run out of that corner. And he's going to try hanging on the outside of here, which turns into the inside. Yep, he's going to cut across Medieval and take that position from. Good pass for Moose right there. And Medieval obviously recognizing he can't really fight that one right now. So Medieval 6.7 seconds off of the leader right now, so you can see him just ahead there. Looks like just making that left onto the front straight. So let's see how Moose is able to capitalize on this now that he's passed Medieval, and he's able to catch up. Let's see, Flight. Okay, Flight's a little bit far behind too. Just came around. Oh no, he's in the pits. Okay, I thought he was coming around the last corner. All right, Flight into his pit stops right now. So let's see if 4Cam can catch up. It's going to be close. Let's get on board with 4Cam right now so we can see this transpire. So 4Cam in 5th place there. You can see Flight. They're just coming out of the pits right about now. But it looks like the Camaro's going to have the capacity that Flight's going to come out right behind him, come onto the racing line of normal. Like I said, this is another track. For some reason, Forza decided to cut off the pit lane exit. You see it there on the right side of the screen right there with a big tire barrier blocking it off. So for some reason, they throw you right on track in traffic, which is crazy to me and weird to me that a racing game would do that. It's not how real life is, and they should actually have a pit lane exit, but for whatever reason, they decided not to do that. Not sure why. But again, turn 10 and Microsoft deciding do weird things. Kind of used to it, right? I mean, I think everybody's used to it by now. So Flight actually just right behind 4Cam T-Bird right now as they go through turn 6 up the hill and then coming into the corkscrew. Looks like Flight caught up quite a bit on that corner actually. Either 4Cam being a little too tentative on that or just the strength of that Audi. Look at that. Under brakes, Flight catching up massively onto that. Both of them really close to to the corkscrew second apex right there. Maybe a little over, but not quite nefarious enough to warrant looking at that any further. Okay, here goes 4Cam. Okay, so that's another pit sequence. So I'm guessing this would be his second pit stop. So he should be able to be done with that. Flight maybe did his before. That should have been his second pit stop. Alright, so now let's look and see. Alright, I'm guessing he's coming up on Cole right now. Oh no, Mr. Grimp. So Master Big Chief coming up on Mr. Grimp in the GS field right now. So you can see the feet above how many feet he's behind the leader. So 11,700. So basically this track is 11,800, let's say, or somewhere around there. It's probably 50 feet or something, so it's actually almost 11.8, I'm guessing. Yeah, look at that. Look, if you guys want an estimation, go no further than me, because apparently I'm spot on with that. So that's the gap between first and last place in GS. So Master Big Chief going to put Mr. Grimp a lap down once he gets past him. Now this is not. So let's go through some racing etiquette right now. So Mr. Grimp is under no reason to pull over for him, let Mr. Grimp and let Master Big Chief pass him at all. That's not what he needs to do. As a back marker, his job is to stay on the lead lap, right? Now we don't have cautions or anything like that, but there's no reason for him to just sit back and lay down and let Master Big Chief pass him. This is an opportunity for Master Big Chief to pass him, but again, pass him cleanly. But Mr. Grimp is under no orders. There's no blue flags really going to put him through. Now there is like a gentleman's etiquette that would kind of Mr. Grimp knows that he's slower, knows that he's not fighting for any position right now. So as a gentleman's agreement, he could, kind of let him pass and not give him, any troubles with that, which it looks like he did a little bit there, just to signify by staying all the way left. That signified to me that he was saying, hey, I'm not going to race you, I'm just going to let you pass. And then it's just into that corner, maybe got a little late on the brakes, and cutting off the apex. Oh, I'm seeing Trance DNF'd across the top there. Looks like Trance is out, and actually I didn't catch that or see that earlier. I wonder when that happened. So Trance is DNF for this one, so he's going to get last place GS points, which would be I think 11, if I remember correctly. So 11th place points. I wonder when that happened. I'll have to look at the end of the race and see what happened there. It looks like something with his internet just setting him out. So there's the gap between first and second. There's Mr. Grimp, who Master Big Chief just passed. So you see Moose here trying to get on board here. Looks like he's caught up steadily. Again, he does have the fastest lap in the race. So if he is, let's say, 1 second faster, he should have enough time to catch up. But I don't think there's a second. I think it might be under under half a second between Master Big Chief and Moose, based on the qualifying times and based on what we're seeing here in the race. Let's see where we got third place. Okay, so straight away, pretty much between Moose and came in there. You see Moose just go around that turn 5 right there. And there you see him right there, just coming under the bridge. So that's the gap between second and third right there. And we'll confirm once we get to the ticker to scroll through again what the time distance is between first and second. And then we'll go ahead to some TCR action so we can kind of see that. Yeah, Trance DNF, bummer. Sorry, Trance. That's a really bummer. Alright, since I'm on board with them, it's so Medieval Knight is 7 seconds off of the lead right now. So I'm guessing that our second place Moose, let's go on board with him so we can see the exact gap. I'm guessing that's a little over a second, maybe 1.4, somewhere around there. Seconds between first and second now. Looks like Moose caught up a good amount. So Moose still with the 130.970 lap time, and for some reason I'm not seeing a gap between first and second, which is interesting. I wonder why I can't see that, but we can visually see it right here. So Moose now coming on board and going to put some pressure on Master Big Chief here. Probably coming up pretty soon here, I would think, maybe towards the start of the next lap. We'll dab with brakes here. Turn it and tip it into to turn 4. Coming under the Mother's Bridge now. Braking right after the bridge, turning on that one basically. Nice apex, and turn 5, all the way out to the outside here. And coming into turn 6 for Moose with Master Big Chief right in front in the lead. A little bit of sausage curve on the left side. Looks like the car handled it pretty well. And coming up the big uphill and into the famous corkscrew 10-story drop. First apex here, second apex here. Nice and controlled. And coming into turn after, I can't remember the number, is it 9 maybe? I think it's in turn 9. And into turn 10, nice cambered right-hander. And then coming into turn 11, as somebody just went in the pits right there. Who is that? That's Yogurt, the leader in TCR, coming in the pits. So let's go on board with Chuckles is in second place right now in TCR. That's what I'm seeing right now. He's coming around turn 10 there, and he's coming to the pits right now. So we've got, we got first and second. ORC Severius now coming around. I think ORC Severius, based on his position, is going to jump Chuckles in the pits, or it's going to be extremely close. Let's stay on board here with Severius. Nice and tidy. ORC Severius is a really good driver too. Not that he's just my teammate. Obviously, I know a lot about his driving style. And I raced before we became teammates. I raced with him a lot, and we were always tight. There you see Chuckles just coming out of the pits. Yeah, and ORC Severius is going to pip him in the pits here. But ORC Severius is doing really well in this Alfa Romeo. I think it really suits his driving style. It's front-wheel drive, obviously, in this car. But ORC Severius is doing a really good job in this car. Trigger Story now looks like he jumped actually up in front too. So yeah, Trigger Story jumped Chuckles in the pits as well. So let's see, ORC Yankees fan pipped him as well, dang. So looks like Chuckles lost a bunch of places in that pits, or just obviously cycled out of his normal pit sequence. Because we did see Trigger Story in front of Chuckles last time we checked on board with TCR. Alright, so we got 30 laps down, 9 more laps to go, so let's quickly go through the order. So we got Master Big Chief in first place in GS, we got Moose IG in second place in the pits, it looks like, in GS. A Medieval Knight coming to the pits as well in third place. And then we got Flight in fourth place, just coming out of the corkscrew, at turn 9. 4Cam T-Board in fifth place, just coming out of turn 6, it looks like. Strife in 6th place, coming out of turn 5. Unknown Hitman in 7th place, coming into turn 5. Bondacious in the Porsche in 8th place, just coming up under the bridge right now into turn 5. Mr. Grimp off track, it looks like. Oh, spinning all around, not sure what happened. He's precariously coming straight across. Looks like he's dead stick though. I'm guessing something wrong with the controller, something going on there. So he's backing down, jumping down, back down the order. Now he's not gonna get last place points based on this. I'm guessing his controller failed, batteries or something. I think he mentioned he did get a new controller. There he just got fired up again. So we missed that, but I'm guessing he plowed right into the wall and messed up the car, I would imagine. Yeah, he knows what's going on, so he's actually real conservative right now, knowing that traffic is coming through and he's at a disadvantage. So another great opportunity to talk about track etiquette, obviously in these races, multi-class races. Even though he's in a faster car, he's got some damage. And he doesn't want to be a hindrance to any TCR drivers. And you can see him fighting the controller left and right. Yeah, that I guarantee he has suspension, spring, every kind of damage he's got. Drivetrain maybe. Let's see, he should just kind of, sit back, let ORC Severius get some space so he doesn't have to worry about him. Let's see how close Trigger Story gets. So the car's not extremely damaged, but I bet you he's going to come into the pits based on what I'm seeing here. Trigger Story coming around into carousel turn 9. ORC Severius into turn 10. And he actually elects to stay out. Interesting. I'm guessing he doesn't want to take that extra pit stop, but here's the deal, is he's in last place in GS anyways. There's no reason not to take a pit stop. He's not going to lose anything. So I would have probably taken a pit stop, Brent. now he could be a liability because the car is not performing exactly 100%. So now he's going to be a roadblock for ORC Severius, and Trigger Story is going to capitalize on that by catching up. So again, so going back to track etiquette. Okay, so this is the thing where you want to balance what's going on with your car, how difficult it is to handle. This is a one-off, you know, which doesn't happen all the time, but worth talking about since we are seeing this play out, you know, in real life right now. So my suggestion to you and to Grimp and everybody else would be pit. It doesn't matter, you're going to start hindering other drivers and other classes, and it doesn't matter if you're faster. If it's a pride thing, you know, for TCR cars who passed you, I'm sorry about that. It looks like you do have damage, and I would just pull over and pit and just, you know, not get in the way of another battle. Anyway, that's my piece, that's my opinion. You can disagree with it, you can agree with it, whatever, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Everybody's got their own view, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. I'm not, this is not upsetting, obviously. I'm not, you know, thinking Grip's an asshole or anything like that. Pardon my French. There's your adult rating right there. But maybe not cognizant and not aware, I guess would be the best way to put it, of the position. So anyway, let's jump on. Let's go through. Did we go through? Okay, now let's go through our TCR field, because I think we missed that. So we got DOR Yogurt in first place. We got ORC Severius in second place. Trigger Story in third. ORC Yankees Fan in fifth place. Chuckles just in the pits here in sixth place. And Wildman CB coming around the corner. I think he's going to pit Chuckles. And let's go on board with him so we can see that. There's that Chuckles right ahead. So actually he's not going to this time. So Chuckles not going to lose the place. Oh, maybe he is. Dang. Oh, it's Yankees Fan in. I missed that one. I didn't see Yankees Fan come in the pits. Interesting. Okay, so Yankees Fan just getting overhauled in the pits, but really close to Wildman CB. So as far as pace is concerned, I think they're pretty close, these drivers right here, Wildman and Yankees Fan. I'm trying to pull up my spreadsheet, it's not coming up yet. Just going to confirm how close they were in qualifying. The driver should have gotten faster, obviously, during the race, getting more laps than in the qualifying. So hopefully they should improve on that. And actually, let me see. I can't remember on the ticker if we can see grid changes. Let's do lap times. Yeah, let's go through the individual race lap times so we can kind of see. So we can kind of see where everybody is on this. So when the ticker comes around, I'll kind of go through as fast as I can because it's going to go through quick. So hopefully you guys can see that up there, up at the top ticker there. All right, so we've got Master Big Chief with 131.798, Moose with 131.646. I can only get through two before it switches. Here's an idea, Forza, turn 10. Keep the ticker up a little bit longer so people can actually see them longer. Oh, looks like ORC Yankees Fan coming into the frame there. Giving Wildman a little bit of a nudge there as Unknown Hitman comes through. All right, so we got Medieval Knight with 148.542, 132.315 for Flight. I have to be Speed Talker, guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm just going to leave it. I'm not even going to mess with it anymore. Oh, ORC Yankees Fan with a big dive bomb up there. Maybe taking advantage of Unknown Hitman coming through and Wildman leaving that room. So both guys here leaving a little bit of room there on the next corners, which is good. But that was a very opportunistic move from ORC Yankees Fan. And again, my teammate, so I know how he drives really well. Very familiar with Wildman CB as well. Both these drivers are really consistent with their lap times and with their driving. So these guys are really easy to drive with because you constantly know or always know what they're going to do. They're very predictable, which in a race series, especially in a multi-class race series, is really beneficial to drive with the same drivers. We're on lap 35 now, 39 for the GS, so I imagine these guys are on lap 34 as Wildman slows way down for the corkscrew. So that's actually brings up a good racing kind of topic too. So one of the things you can do in your cars, you can actually overslow on the apexes if you have a driver that's really close. Sometimes it catches them out, and sometimes they'll have to swing around you or try to swing around you. But it's actually a nice race tactic. Some people might think it's dirty, but if you overslow somebody on the apex, you'll slow them down unexpectedly, and you'll be able to get on the power quicker usually. It depends on the driver obviously behind you, depends on their car characteristics, depends on their time on track. ORC Yankees fan locking it up a little bit coming into Andretti hairpin, and that allowed Wildman to stay in front a little bit and gain maybe a couple car length of gap. This is a good battle between these two, both showing a decent amount of respect. A little bit of door banging, but that's okay. It's not intentional. So let's go over really quick. We're getting towards lap 36 here for the leaders. So I want to go on board with, yeah, first and second, really close now. So Master Big Chief still in the lead here, and Moose IG still right there catching up. Looks like all the time. Oh, look at this. What was that? That was interesting. So it looks like Master Big Chief let off the gas for some reason a lot, or had a misshift, or something happened. I wonder if that BMW is transmission damage? I don't know. That was uncharacteristic and interesting. Look at both these drivers. Lots of respect shown between both these drivers. You know, given enough space to race. Moose going to back off a little bit, try to get the undercut maybe. Yep, there he goes. Try the undercut. Maybe doesn't have enough. Oh, it looks like he hits the brake. You saw him just hit the brakes there a little bit, understanding he's not going to throw it up the inside. Oh, and he's going to wait for a mistake from Master Big Chief. Master Big Chief did go too hot in there. Now let's see if he can get the undercut. Master Big Chief, understanding he went too deep and maybe taking away that inside line, knowing that Moose was going to go for an undercut. So great battle here in the last, the waning parts of this lap. He's going to go up the inside here. They both give each other enough space. Yep. Trying to dive the apex there. Moose tried to park it in the apex there. It looks like he let off just a little bit, thinking that he disadvantaged Master Big Chief a tiny bit. So it's going to allow him to regain that, I think, a little bit. That slots in behind him. Master Big Chief goes deep. So now he can consciously take that line. But it's going to pinch his apex, which allows Master Big Chief alongside again. And now into the next corner, he's going to have to, yep, let's see the undercut. There it is. It's about halfway alongside, but Master Big Chief's going to have to give him room. Tight racing here, you know, little, like I said, a little bit of contact, but nothing crazy. And it's difficult on a track like this. So Moose really going for a lot of the undercuts as Master Big Chief runs wide into a lot of these corners, just trying to keep that lead and cutting off his own apexes. Okay, Moose finally made that pass there, a couple laps in the making at least. And Master Big Chief tried to hang it on the outside of turn 6, but that's such a tight area. So all Moose has to do is park it on the apex here, not allow him to get a drive off that corner. And Master Big Chief right behind him now, coming around the last couple of corners at Laguna Seca. So the nice thing about this track is it does allow a lot of close racing because it's not a huge amount of passing room, you know, here. So it's literally, you know, just a couple of single racing lines, and you're really just waiting for a mistake from one of the drivers, albeit slight mistake, but that's all these good drivers need. And I think that's third place in Flight now. Interesting. So it's Flight in third place right now, it looks like, after these guys, lap 38. So we've got, this is the last racing lap right here. What happened to Medieval? He's in fourth place, quite a distance back. So I'm not sure what happened to Medieval. He's been in third place, second and third place the whole race. So interesting to see that. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Actually, I want to go on board. Let's go on board with Master Big Chief so we can see the chase. Ooh, Moose off just a little bit there in turn 5 in the dirt. Doesn't look like it slowed him down too much. And Master Big Chief's been leading this race for the majority of it, as now in second place, with a sizable gap actually between himself and first, between Moose. So unless Moose makes a big mistake here, I think he's going to take this. Laguna Seca, great drive from all these drivers that we saw in the battles. Lots of respect shown. A little bit of door banging, but again, that's acceptable. As long as it doesn't put somebody off in the weeds, or in this case the sand or the desert, then you're good. So Moose coming across here for the last corner. Yeah, Big Chief's having a lot of trouble. Looks like a lot of understeer on that car. Where he's trying to outbrake himself to stay in front, but or stay competitive. A great race from these guys. As we see Master Big Chief come across. Flight's going to cross in third place here with Medieval Knight coming across here, just coming across in fourth place. 4Cam T-Bird here coming around the corkscrew now. He's got TCR Traffic in front of him, ORC Severus and Trigger Story. He's got nobody behind him in his own class, so no reason to push this. So he's just going to stay behind them and just let them run their own race. Obviously these guys are in a huge battle. Looks like between second and third place, I believe, between TCR. So he's just going to hang back here, I think. If he can pass him on the straight right now, he might, but he might not. There's nothing really for him to gain right here because he's going to be pulling off. Okay, so that is 4Cam T-Bird in fifth place here. You see the drivers poked off on the left side there, or right side. So, oh, it made it the wrong way. I wanted to go the other way. Alright, Strife in sixth place here coming out, just putting that. Unknown Hitman should be coming across yet in seventh. Bondacious and the other Cayman just coming around the last turn. Coming out here in eighth place. It looks like we got, that might be Hooligan Heart. No, Hooligan Heart's back here, coming around last couple corners, a little bit wide. Sunday fun day, I agree, dude. So I can't talk about these drivers enough. You guys see me mention it every week, and I'm just really impressed with a lot of these drivers, and pretty much everybody here. Everybody's got the right mindset, and that's exactly what we want in these series. We want people to just have a great time, first of all. You know, get better. That's the other thing that we're trying to do, too. And you only get better by racing against better and faster drivers. So lots of respect to all these drivers, really putting it down and really exhibiting the kind of driving we want to see. He's DR Yogurt. Looks like he just finished, so he's actually first in TCR. And we've got ORC Severius quite a ways back. A couple corners back here coming across the last. Looks like he's going to keep second place here. The Trigger Story looks like he's going to come in third place here. He catches a lot actually on that last corner. So ORC Severius in second place, a great battle with him. Trigger Story coming across here. And then we've got Mr. Grimp coming across here. Let's see, those Chuckles, there's the TCR. Chuckles coming across, nice. Oh, they're trying to do some little bit of wrecking. And ORC Severius, I mean Yankees fan, sorry. ORC Yankees fan in the Honda coming across. I can't remember where I'm at in TCR now. I think we're in, what, fourth place? Or fifth place in TCR. And Wildman CB right behind him, looks like. Yep. And we've got Corporal Cole in the GS, but it looks like he had some issues maybe finishing. Oh no, GGR Merginator finishing. So something must have happened to Merginator, I thought, because I thought you were up higher, Merginator. So great battle from this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't get audio, unfortunately. We tried that last time, and we didn't really get... Actually, you know what? I might as well try it again, right? So let's see if we can get these guys to come on board with us. So we've got Moose, Master Big Chief, and Flight. So let's see if we can get them. Make sure to include their audio. I think that's the mistake we made last time. So I'm going to start a party, and we're going to see if we can get these folks in here. So let's see, we need... okay, Moose is still not... That's why I can't get Moose, because he's never showing online. He wants to be... Okay, so let's get Flight... who was it? It was Flight, Moose, and Master Big Chief. And yeah, I don't see Master Big Chief in here either. Damn you guys. Okay, let's see if we can I accidentally cut out of it, sorry. My mistake, as we're watching the background here. So let's get who we can, obviously. So let's get flight. Let's get, oh, DR Yogurt was up here. Let's see if we can get a couple people in. So this is various, and here was a trigger. All right, we're gonna have to switch off here once we see people come in.
Hello?